Yeah, hi YouTube. Howard here. I'm wearing this headlamp so it makes me look like an expert. You see that? I'm attempting to revive a dead battery, and by reversing the polarity by charging it backwards. That's what I'm going to attempt to do. This battery still has juice in it, but not enough to start a car. I tested it with a modern tester before I began, and I could show you the results. I'll put the picture up somewhere. It's like, I don't know, 20 or 30% state of health. It says replace it, and the cars won't work with it. And not only that, but the battery's been sitting right on that clean spot right here for I don't know, a good year or two. I've been tripping over it. I'm not sure. I can't even remember which one of my vehicles. I've got 10 vehicles, classics. So you can see different cars around here. There's 2 other rooms to this shop full of stupid cars that aren't stupid to me, but you know, if you're watching this, you understand. So what's going on here? This is a interstate 12-volt car battery. It's cold cranking amps at 625. It's not a very big battery. It probably was used in my International Harvester Scout, or it has posts on it, okay, so that kind of narrows it down. I may have also used it in my AMCs. I've got several Javelins and an AMX, and I just throw small batteries in because I kill them anyway. I forget to charge them. I hardly ever drive the cars. They sit in the shop, and then they go dead. Although with the old cars, they don't go dead as fast as in a modern car because there's no computer. But anyway, this one died maybe of old age. It doesn't have a year on it. So anyway, I've always heard this old story that you can revive old batteries. So I've tried different things. I tried, the Epsom salts and changing the acid and doing all kinds of things with powerful chargers and stuff. Nothing ever worked for me. I haven't done that in a few years, but I thought I'd try something else on this one, which is reversing the polarity to see if it works. I've heard along the way people talk about this, but not too much. So what I'm doing is I got an old, and in order to do this, I'm going to use all of my Uncle Jake's tools that I inherited in 1987, tools and materials. So I've got this old light bulb and an old socket that was cut out of an old car, and these old vice grips, because this is the kind of thing he would dig. So I've got that bulb hooked up, and of course, the battery's just operating normally. It still had, I checked it, it had 12 volts in it, so the battery can't be, too mechanically destroyed. So I thought it might be a good candidate for this. So I hooked up the light bulb. I'm just going to run it. I don't know. It might take hours or days. I don't know how long it's going to take to. I want to kill the battery. I want to bring the battery voltage down close to 0. I figure there's probably less chance of blowing things up. And then I'm going to put a battery charger on it with ass backwards, with the the way you're always very careful not to accidentally do it. I'm going to do that on purpose. I'm going to switch the polarity, and I'll use one of my chargers. I've got a lot of chargers. I'll use one that's like really tiny. I've got some that are really small, that are just like less than an amp. I'll use those for starters and see what happens. And I'll just run it for days and days backwards until hopefully I get a battery that I could fully charge, And then I'm going to test it. And what I'm hoping to see is that I've got a battery that reads healthy on my battery testers, except the polarity of the posts will be reversed. And then I'll try it in one of my cars, assuming we get that far, and hopefully my cables in the cars will reach the posts, even though they're going to be in slightly different orientations than normally. I think one of my Javelins will reach. I think it's got pretty long cables, that are like a few inches longer than they have to be, if my memory serves me correctly, which it surprisingly might. So here we are, and I'll check back.